everyone. It is Wednesday. You are listening to 97.5 FM KDEE. I am Agent Key, and we are Selling Sacramento. Selling Sacramento is brought to you by Matthews and Company Realty Group, where I, Agent Key Matthews, is the broker and owner, and I love helping you buy, sell, and retain real estate. And so if you're thinking about selling your home or your investment property, or you just want to have the conversation about how to become a homeowner, schedule your online appointment at my website at agentkee.com. At my website, top left, you will see 2 to 3 different links. One where you can schedule an appointment to talk about home buying, another where you can schedule an appointment to talk about selling your home. And then a third where it just says chat with Key, because sometimes you just have something about real estate that you just want to chat about. So I'm giving you that ability to freely go to my website at agentkee.com and schedule an appointment and chat with me. Today, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook at Agent Key on Facebook, Selling Sacramento on the radio on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, LinkedIn, which is brand new for us, YouTube, and Twitter. And so if you want to join in the conversation, because today I am giving you all of the updates on affordable housing here in Sacramento. So if you are interested in knowing where the affordable housing construction is taking place in and around the Sacramento region, you'll want to tune in to today's show. In addition, the second half of today's show is reserved for new home construction. I went to 4 new home construction, I'm calling them hot spots, over the past weekend. And I want to share them with you because new home construction, not only is it still happening, but they have some really great incentives that they're offering. And some of the builders, there's one builder in particular that I'm going to save it for the second half of the show. You just have to make sure that you tune in so that you can hear what I have to say about this builder. It may come as a surprise to some of you. I know if you're a real estate agent, it is definitely going to come as a surprise to you. So, what is affordable housing? One of the important things to know about housing in California, and I shouldn't say important thing to know, we live in California. If you live in California, you have to understand that you live in the 5th largest economy in the world. If California were its own country, it would be the 5th largest economy in the world. The things that are produced that other countries, other states, other people rely on us for, it is massive. Not only the items that come out of California, the production and the business, but just the geographic location of California alone is an amenity. The geographic location of the city of Sacramento in the state of California is an amenity. And why do I say that? If you live in the Central Valley, if you live here in Sacramento in the region, you are 2 hours away from the Bay Area, which is beaches and big city life. And that's if you're heading west. If you head north 2 hours, you will landed right smack in the middle of wine country with Napa and all of the other places and the different tours and bed and breakfasts, and it's a whole different vibe. Just 2 hours, a 2-hour drive. And then go 2 hours to the east, depending on the time of the year, you will see snow-capped mountains, beautiful scenery, casinos, My engineer is just getting all excited about casinos. And one of the most beautiful lakes in the country, Lake Tahoe, 2-hour drive. I'm bringing this up because these are the types of amenities. It's almost like the difference between a basic home, bare bones home, and the home with all the extras. California, ladies and gentlemen, is the home with all the extras. And if you've ever bought a new home before, base model, scratch the home, a car. Everybody can relate to buying a car. You got the base model car, and then that's saying they get you with all them extras, right? If you're living in California, you are paying for the extras. And I'm prefacing our conversation with that to help you as we talk about the subject matter on today's show. And that subject matter is affordable housing. So one of the things that I want to dive right into is exactly what is affordable housing. And I'm using a definition by Housing California from the housingcalifornia.org website. And I'm just going to read it directly from the website. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development considers affordable housing to be affordable when a household spends 30% or less of its income on housing costs. According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, in 2021, the fair market rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in California was $2,030. In order to afford this level of rent and utilities without paying more than 30% of income on housing, a household must earn $6,766 monthly or $81,191 annually. So to put this in perspective, renters currently need to earn nearly 3 times the state minimum wage to afford asking rents in California. That is a whole lot of money. Affordable housing is housing that is deed restricted to individuals or households that qualify as low income, typically for a period of 55 years. There are 3 low income categories, and they're each measured by a range of the area median income, low income, very low income, and extremely low income. So low income would be 50 to 80% of the area median income. Very low income would be 30 to 50% of the area median income. And then extremely low income would be below 30% of AMI. Affordable housing developments can have different levels of affordability, such as developments that are exclusively for low income tenants, or a mix of extremely low income, and market rate units. And affordable housing can be any type of property, including single family homes, duplexes, or multifamily buildings. However, multifamily buildings comprise most affordable housing, as these types of developments are most cost effective and able to serve many more households. Similarly, affordable housing can be rental housing or owner-occupied housing, but the majority of affordable housing stock is rental housing. And I want to put a pause right there, because that is one of the reasons that you will hear me make a distinction between affordable housing and affordable home ownership opportunities, because we need more affordable home ownership opportunities. When you see these items go on the ballot and they come up as a topic of discussion, let that be a trigger when you hear affordable housing. Wait, is this including affordable home ownership opportunities? And if so, how much? we need more affordable housing, definitely in the areas of rents, but we need equally as much, if not more, affordable home ownership opportunities, because it's with home ownership that a person is enabled to not have to rent. It's with home ownership that you can increase your net worth. It's through home ownership that you can multiply the amount of property that you own, that you can build equity, that you can build generational wealth through home ownership. Through renting, you don't get those opportunities. When you pay rent every month, you will never see that money ever again. When you pay a mortgage every month, you are making a forced contribution into a savings account that will inevitably pay you back multiple dividends as the equity continues to grow in your home over time. So you're making a contribution to pay off a debt to an account that's growing larger than the amount you're paying into. So that's why we want to push for affordable home ownership opportunities versus affordable housing. Now, I hope I clarified. I am not saying we do not need affordable housing for renters. We do need that. Most affordable housing is made affordable to low-income households by subsidizing the rent or mortgage that the occupants are paying. So just as the government subsidizes critical infrastructure like water and sanitation or healthcare for senior peoples with disabilities and low-income households, the government does the same thing to help pay for housing for those who need it. Okay, so I want to say hello to those of you who are watching on social media, and I want to remind those of you who are listening that if you'd like to join in the conversation, because I want to make sure that I get you involved in the conversation, and I'd much rather do it via social media where I can see your comments. Hey, Arthur, you're welcome for the invite. And then I can vet the comments and make sure I find the information, the answer to the questions that you want. Miss Sharita Moore, how are you doing? Miss V, yes, listening from Nevada. So if you want to join the conversation, if you have a comment, you just want to say hi, or you have a question, feel free to go to the social media sites, Google's Selling Sacramento on Facebook. It's going to pop up. YouTube, what else did I say? LinkedIn and Twitter. Yes. Martin. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Shalon. Thank you all for tuning in today. Miss Nikki. Hello. Hello. So we're going to continue the discussion about affordable housing. I want to inform you or educate you about how affordable housing is produced. I'm giving you this background because when I share with you where the affordable housing spots are here in Sacramento, anytime you gain information you didn't have before, it causes your brain to expand and to think. And I'd like to think that this show is helping increase your aptitude and awareness. Now, this is not about houses for sale. This is about how does the local economy work as it pertains to the housing market. Where do I fit in? How do I get in? Where is my voice? So as it's time to vote again on some things. And when you see things come up on the ballot, you will be informed. And it won't be one of those things where you're not aware or you're unsure, and then someone can pull the wool over your eyes, because you will have a certain amount of knowledge. Something will respond inside of you that says, that doesn't sound quite right. And it's probably triggering you because you heard something on the show that's like, because I'm also going to give you references of where this information is coming from. This isn't just my opinion. I tell you when things are my opinion. Y'all know I have some very strong stances on certain things. And I definitely tell you where those are. But this information I'm sharing today, I'm going to tell you exactly where it's coming from. So, for example, the information I just read to you about what is affordable housing, you can go directly to housingcalifornia.org, housingca.org, and they have a great website there. That's where that definition came from. And I'm going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you about how affordable housing is produced and then give you a list. I'm going to run off a list of affordable housing opportunities, which include rent and buy, right here in the Sacramento region. You're listening to 97.5 FM KDEE. I am Agent Key, and I'll be right back.
Okay. So I have two things.
Yes, sir.
One is a statement, the other is a question.
Okay.
The
Good
first
afternoon. I'm sorry. I'm saying hello. Yes, you're helping everyone. Realtors included. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So it goes along with her statement, actually. Even though you were talking about the housing market, it actually has helped me in areas that has nothing to do with the housing market.
Oh, good.
Just the way that we think.
Okay. From
my business to everything else. So that's my one statement. Then my question is, it doesn't have to do with what you're doing, but something you said triggered it for me. If you have a mortgage loan and the company that you have the mortgage loan through sells your mortgage to someone else, how does that affect your equity?
Are you asking if your loan got sold? Your equity won't be affected at all, because when they sell your loan to another lender, they are selling everything that comes along with it. So the person that buys your loan, or the company that buys your loan to take it over and service it, has to agree to all of the terms and conditions and where you are with your mortgage. So none of that should be affected at all. Before they transfer your loan, if something is going to be impacted, they should let you know what's going to change so that you have an ability or a right to fight it. I've not heard of that happening before, where something changes and, not that it couldn't,
right,
but they would definitely need to be obligated to do that. Okay. Miss Vi, I've been looking for condominium. Oh, thank you, Alma, for that website link. Thank you. I've been looking for a condominium to buy in Sacramento, so when I go back home to visit my grandchildren, I'll have a place there. Can't find anything affordable. Ooh, okay. So you need to make an appointment with me so we can see what affordable looks like to you, and so we can see what's out there, and then I'll let you in on some tips and tricks of the market right now, because it's all about the buyers. It's all about the buyers. So hit me up. Miss Brashia, good afternoon, sis. Hi, Cat. Hi, Mom. Don't call me Cat in public. Miss Brashia, nice to see you. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Call me. So, do y'all realize this is a buyer's market? When I come back from the break,
it's very short.
I know. How many seconds do I have?
About 20.
20 seconds?
Not now, 15.
Wait, what?
15. 10.
You're making me nervous.
You could have 5.
Okay.
3.
Hey everyone, we are back. You're listening to 97.5 FM KDEE. I am Agent Key, and today's topic of discussion is affordable housing, the affordable housing update. I'm providing you with an affordable housing update, meaning I'm going to rattle off a list of affordable housing opportunities that are under construction, that are scheduled to open, that will be opening very soon in and around the Sacramento region, and they include both to buy and to rent opportunities. And I'm also going to finish up with my definition. Before we went on break, I described to you all that I wanted you to be informed. And so I shared with you the definition of affordable housing. So I want to make sure I wrap that up with how is affordable housing produced. I want you to have as good of an understanding as I can give you about affordable housing and the affordable housing conversation, because I am in the industry. As much as I am, I really want to see affordable housing. It's important to understand how the wheels turn, because if you understand how everything works, then you don't get so upset so easily, because being angry about something doesn't change it, but actually understanding and then coming up with a solution does. And so I want to share this information with you all so that you can see when those opportunities pop up for you to make a change in this affordable housing / affordable homeownership opportunity conversation. Okay. So now, how is affordable housing produced? Much like unsubsidized market rate housing, producing housing that's affordable to low income households requires significant financial resources and technical expertise. Developers of both types of housing must account for projected costs associated with property acquisition, professional service fees, land use approvals required by government agencies, construction materials, and labor. So there's a lot that goes into just thinking about the idea of creating affordable housing. So while both market rate and affordable housing require significant financial resources and technical expertise, affordable housing developers cannot recuperate their projected costs through the revenue typically earned when a future tenant pays rent. Consequently, affordable housing developers need financing mechanisms offered by federal, state, and local governments to help fill the gap between a development's projected development costs and its projected cash flow from collected rents. What does all of that mean? They need to make their money up front. They need to make the government has to give them tax breaks and incentives and discounts and coupons to make this happen. It costs a lot of money to build, and developers have to put up a lot of money up front before they make any money. There's a cost to buy the land. There's a cost for materials. There's a cost for labor. There's a cost for everything. There's a cost to go downtown and file a report, which several have to be filed when you're doing development projects. So affordable housing developers layer multiple sources of funding to make these projects financially feasible. As a matter of fact, in California, developers often layer up to 15 different funding sources. So think about buying a house. Remember back in the day, there was we had the first loan and the junior loan, the first and the second. 15. Try 15. The low-income housing tax credit program is a critical financial tool for affordable housing development. It was created by Congress through the Tax Reform Act of 1986 and made permanent in 1993. And I mention this because you might hear it or you might see it, the initials LIHTC, Low Income Housing Tax Credit. And it incentivizes private investors to give equity financing in exchange for reduced tax liabilities once the affordable housing development is complete or placed in service. So here's this money coming from outside private investors to help fund these projects in exchange for tax breaks. Sound familiar? When you get mad about the wealthy having tax breaks, this is what the wealthy is getting tax breaks for. We can't have our cake and eat it too, right? We have to think about these things. Some things we can get mad about. Other things, you just need to pull your pants up and get to work on improving your own situation. That was from me. That's not from the website. Can I say that without getting any phone calls or static? Affordable housing developers that are awarded tax credits can then sell the LIHTC to investors. This investment provides upfront capital that subsidizes development costs and reduces the need for debt financing from lending institutions. I don't want to get too deep into this, only to say that developers of affordable housing, they also rely on federal programs that provide funding for construction, maintenance, and rehabilitation of units, such as project-based vouchers, home investment partnerships, and community development block grants, also known as CDBGs, as well as programs that provide funding to households through rent subsidies, such as the Housing Choice Voucher Program. So, in sharing that information, wanted to make you aware of some things that go on behind the scenes that make affordable housing possible, that also create obstacles. These are the obstacles to making affordable finance. Somebody has to pay for it. It's not just going to pop up out of thin air. So these vehicles are put in place to make this happen. And so it's important to understand how this vehicle works, because if you don't like it, you can see that where there might be an opportunity to change things or improve things. And maybe it's not even that you don't like it. Maybe you just see a place where you can improve upon it. But you have to know how the wheel is turning, what the mechanism looks like, in order for you to even be a part of the conversation before we even talking about making changes. But I wanted to give you that window to see through, because oftentimes we complain about needing affordable housing, but then over here, we're also mad that the rich are getting richer. And some of these rich folks are actually contributing to this affordable housing. So keep that in mind. So I want to say hello to some more of our viewers that have jumped on. Mr. Ryan Lundquist and Tyrone, how are you doing, sir? Thank you. And I'm looking to see if there are any questions that I need to answer. F. Johnson, I know we are not on this topic yet. We have any areas where developing more next-gen homes? Yes, and we will get to that topic. It is definitely coming, definitely coming. You are welcome. Okay, so now to the affordable home areas. I also want to give a little, let's see here, y'all. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. There we go. I want to give a little shout out to a couple of folks as we talk about, before I actually start talking about the affordable housing projects around Sacramento, I also want to give you a list of about 6 different websites that you can go to if you are interested in learning and understanding more about affordable housing development and the challenges that come with it. I think it's really important to dig deeper, not just take things at face value. We hear affordable housing, but have you ever thought about what it is? Where does it come from? How does it happen? Why does it exist? So, and what are the struggles and the challenges with it? That's the biggest part. Because we need more of it, it's important to dig deeper and find out what are the challenges that are happening. Maybe you might have an answer or a solution, or you may know of someone that may have an answer or solution. So the California Housing Partnership is at chpc.net. The California Housing Partnership, chpc.net. Then there is the California Housing Consortium. They are at calhsng.org. calhsng.org. And there is the Cost of Affordable Housing, Does It Pencil Out article at urban.org. urban.org. And as I'm listing these, as I'm rattling these off, I will create a list. You can find a list on my website. I'll put a link there, and maybe I'll call it something like show resources, something like that. It'll be in the header where you'll be able to find this information. Then there is the Urban Institute. We really appreciate the Urban Institute. That is where that article, Does It Pencil Out, is on the Urban Institute. Plus, they also have an article there about affordable housing, how affordable housing gets built. Then we have the National Low Income Coalition. The National Low Income Coalition at nlihc.org. And they have a great article there entitled Why We Care and what the problem is. And then there's a website entitled Christian Church Homes at cchnc.org. cchnc.org. And they have a great article there called Housing Development. So I wanted to share those resources with you because it is our responsibility to dig deeper, to gain a better and more true understanding. Gone are the days of just complaining about what's not happening to you and who's not doing what for you, right? We live in a time, in a world now where we can make change in 60 seconds and in 24 hours if we wanted. All right. So looking for affordable housing, these developments are being built in the Sacramento region. Hang on to your saddles. And this is from an article written by Ryan Lillis of the Sacramento Bee. So starting in Rockland, housing in Rockland, the city council last year approved plans for Quarry Place, a new development that will replace the former Kmart at the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Pacific Street. St. Anton Communities is developing the 15.4-acre site into 180 income-restricted workforce housing apartments, 40 single-family homes, and 2 commercial structures. City officials stated that in a news release, the rental housing is targeted very low and low income earners, and the single family homes are targeting entry-level buyers. There are recent college graduates, young teachers, and even entry-level firefighters that will be able to comfortably afford a quality home in Rockland, thanks to this project, according to city officials. On the other side of Rockland, USA Properties has started construction on a 288-unit affordable housing complex between University Avenue and Wildcat Boulevard near Whitney High School. The apartment buildings will have 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units reserved for residents who earn between 30% and 70% of the Placer County median income. That comes out to about $21,750 to $50,750 for 2-person households. Buy or rent in South Sacramento. Are you ready for South Sacramento? Mutual Housing and Habitat for Humanity broke ground earlier this year on a project near Nicholas Park in South Sacramento called Cornerstone. The development will have 108 affordable rental units and 18 single-family homes for sale, providing over 400 low-income individuals with affordable housing. Mutual Housing and Habitat for Humanity announced that back in March. The development will be all electric and have electric vehicle charging stations. Nice. To qualify for the rental units, residents will need to make between 30 and 60% of the area median income, or between $30,000 and $60,000 a year. The apartment buildings will have private patios and a community garden. The homes for sale will be a mix of 3 and 4-bedroom houses with private backyards. The project should be completed in about 2 years, said Mutual Housing CEO Roberto Jimenez. Now, Poppy Grove in Elk Grove, switching from South Sac to Elk Grove. Elk Grove leaders recently took some heat from housing advocates for denying a proposed affordable housing project in Old Town. However, the city council in May approved what will likely be Elk Grove's largest affordable apartment complex. The 387-unit Poppy Grove Apartments will be built at Bruceville and Poppy Ridge Roads, a few blocks south of Whitlock Parkway. Whitelock Parkway. I call it Whitlock, but it's spelled Whitelock. Apartments will be available for those making 80% or less of the area median income. The median household income in Elk Grove is around $101,000 a year. The complex will have a swimming pool, playgrounds, and other community gathering places, according to a city council report. Now, back to South Sacramento. How about some affordable housing on Stockton Boulevard? Two major developments will bring much needed housing to Stockton Boulevard, a vibrant but economically challenged commercial corridor of South Sac. Mutual Housing was chosen by the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency to develop a very large, affordable housing community on the site of the former San Juan Motel just south of Fruit Ridge Road. The land had been vacant for years and has been the site of a large homeless encampment. The community will have 150 units split among several buildings, along with a child care center and commercial space that will likely be used by a nonprofit organization. That provides added services and benefit to the community. A few blocks north, prominent affordable housing developer, Mercy Housing California, is planning its largest residential project in the region. Construction began this summer, on 200 units of affordable housing at 4995 Stockton Boulevard, an 8-acre empty lot that borders the West Campus High School soccer and football field. Residents of the development will earn between 30 and 70% of the area median income of around $102,000 per year. The community will have a play area for children and after-school programs. There will be plenty of space for larger families. More than 150 units will either be 2 or 3 bedroom apartments. Senior housing in downtown Sacramento. Let me take a pause and see if there are any questions. I'm trying to be better at checking the comment section. I'm inviting y'all to watch and participate. Let's see. This is such good information. You are so welcome. Help myself. I will. Basically, affordable housing, keep the rich rich. Expound on that, Ms. Jan. But affordable home ownership shifts the power dynamic economically, social, etc., especially for BIPOC. Absolutely right. Yes, we had that conversation right at the start of the show that I'm an advocate of affordable home ownership opportunities, even though I do know and understand that we need affordable housing. Affordable home ownership opportunities help increase the scale and put things in our favor in the African American community, for sure. Senior housing in downtown Sacramento. Sacramento city leaders recently broke ground on the Wong Center Senior Apartments at 7th and F Streets in the downtown rail yards. The building will have 150 units for low-income seniors and is one of the first major projects to be built in the redeveloped rail yards, a 240-acre site on the northern edge of downtown. And even though it won't solve everything, it's 150 units for vulnerable seniors. Low-income seniors is something we ought to be very proud of and something that we ought to recommit to doing over and over again. And that's a quote from Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg. He says that it meets a tremendous need. The Wong Center will have 135 one-bedroom units, 15 two-bedroom apartments, and residents who are 55 and older who earn between 40 and 60% of the Sacramento County median income are eligible for residency. And the project is expected to be finished in early 2024. Moving on, affordable apartments near Sac State. A San Diego-based community, Housing Works, has proposed proposed building a 75-unit affordable housing building at 6779 Q Street, a plot of land adjacent to the university and the 65th Street Light Rail station and bus station, and a short walk from the California State University Sacramento campus. Mary Jane, I am going to butcher her last name, Jagodinsky, is the senior vice president with Community Housing Works, and she's quoted as saying, "This neighborhood has really been blossoming with retail and residential. It's a great hub with proximity to transit, which we feel is very important. And tenants of the new building will likely earn between $30,000 and $60,000 a year, depending on the family size. Rents will vary depending on income. One-bedroom units would start at around $500 a month, and three-bedroom apartments would rent for up to $1,480. Construction on this project will likely not start until next year at the earliest." And now we have an interesting project here, which we probably need to see more of. State property turned into housing. The state of California has begun granting surplus property to affordable housing developers. Two major projects are being built on land in downtown Sacramento. Mutual Housing has proposed tearing down a vacant warehouse at 805 R Street to construct a large affordable apartment building that will be marketed to artists. The 5-story building will likely have between 200 and 240 units. A few blocks away, construction is well underway on a 5-story affordable apartment building at 1322 O Street, and the building should be finished this winter, according to the Capital Area Development Authority, CADA, which is developing the project with CFY Development. The 58 micro units in the building will be smaller than 300 square feet. Rents will range from $710 for those earning less than $28,400 to $1,065 for tenants who make up to $42,600 per year. And last on our list is housing in the Sierra foothills. Demand for affordable housing extends even into the rural and small towns of the Sacramento region. The unincorporated areas of Placer and El Dorado counties have a shortfall of more than 5,000 units for very low and low-income earners. Mercy Housing in Placer County opened a 79-unit affordable housing and townhome community early this year at the County Government Center in Auburn. The development has 3-story apartment buildings and 7 2-story townhomes available for those making between 30% and 60% of the area median income, or roughly between $30,000 and $60,000. Placerville needs to build 90 units of affordable housing this decade, and a plan to convert a former state armory in the foothill city will nearly meet that goal. Yay for Placer! The city plans to demolish the Placerville Armory on Armory Road, just north of the Placerville Drive exit of Highway 50. The new building would have 83 affordable residential units for low and moderate income individuals and families, which includes 34 one-bedroom units, 27 two-bedroom units, and 22 three-bedroom units. The project's developer is Jamboree Housing. So again, I want to note that that was an article from the Sacramento Bee, Ryan Lillis, the Sacramento Bee's housing reporter. I'm sure that's not his official title. I just gave him that title. But Ryan, feel free to give me a call and let me know what your official title is. Anyway, that is some great news. Those projects are kicking off, the price points of the projects, the location of the projects, the time frame of the projects. It's happening. It is definitely happening. And Vi is asking, will I post that information on my website? Yes, ma'am. For the new developments, I definitely will do that. I'll actually put a link to Ryan Lillis's article to make sure that I'm directing it properly. You are so welcome. Let's see. Good afternoon. I hope this day is going. I'm reading from the comments section, y'all. So when it sounds like I'm pausing, I'm reading. Hope the day's going well for you. Caught the end of what you were talking about, housing development going up in Elk Grove, affordable housing. I didn't get that. Could you please give me the information on that? Thank you in advance. Oh, so the project in Elk Grove, let's go back to that. That Elk Grove project is did it just slip past me? Downtown, Stockton Boulevard. Oh, there we go. So it is called Poppy Grove. Poppy, Poppy, Poppy Grove in Elk Grove. And it is a 387 unit apartment complex. And it will be located at the corner of Bruceville and Poppy Ridge Road. And that's a few blocks south of Whitelock Parkway. And so the apartments will be available for those making 80% or less of the area median income. And I will be sure when I post this information on my site, I'll try to get information, contact information, if there is any available. Most of these projects are still in the early stages of being developed, and so they're not going to have contact information just yet. But it's still a good idea to keep an eye out, keep your eyes and ears open. If you know the general vicinity or the location, do a drive-by. Keep your eye on the area, because within a matter of months, you'll see signage go up that tells you how to apply. And when you see that signage go up that tells you how to apply, you want to jump on that, because space is definitely going to be limited. And we know, because the conversation is affordable housing, that there are going to be a number of people that are trying to jump on that opportunity. So when you hear about affordable housing going up, don't dismiss it. It doesn't take a long time once foundation gets set for properties to be built, for a structure to be built. So when you hear about it, hone in on the location, get an idea of where it is approximately, drive over there, and then continue to drive over there, develop a routine to drive over there on a regular basis, so that when you see that sign go up, you can jump on it, be one of the first to jump on that. So hopefully that information was helpful for you. Informative and extremely great for us who serve the community. You are so welcome, author. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about some awesome new home construction incentives. And these are places that I actually visited over the weekend. You're listening to 97.5 FM KDEE. I'm Agent Key, and we will be right back. I saw you going break, but I was heading for a break anyway. No, it's only 148.
42.
It says 148.
I know, 42 is the break.
Oh, I should have stopped at 42. That just means when we come back from the break that I only have a couple of minutes.
I'm just trying to help.
I appreciate the help.
I ain't got to start. I'm just trying to help.
Want to be starting something? Let's see. Okay, so let me see how I'm going to get all of this information in 3 minutes. Let's see. Are there any government programs that provide funds for existing homes that need improvement repairs for low-income senior homeowners? Yes, there actually is, Miss Alma. I'm going to, let's see how I can get you this information. Can you send me an email with your contact information? GENT 007@gmail.com. Agent Key 007. Send me an email with your contact information, and I'll connect you with an organization who does just that. Yeah, happy to help you. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm trying to make sure I type my email correctly. It should say agentkey007@gmail.com. So I'll have like
Very short.
4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, about 4.
Give me 5 minutes, man.
We'll make it happen.
Give me 5 minutes.
We'll make it happen.
Okay.
Get ready to come back.
Okay. My pleasure. My pleasure.
5, 3.
Hey everyone, we're back, and I want to rattle off some new home construction developments that I visited over the weekend, and they were all very, very nice. And they, in their own way, all of them had different characteristics. I'm trying to get all the words out. I have like 4 minutes, so I'm going to take about 60 seconds on each one, you guys. So the first one that I want to tell you about is exciting to talk about because I never talk about them because they don't do broker co-op traditionally, and that is Lennar. And Lennar is doing broker co-op. So all of you agents who are out there who are avoiding Lennar like the plague, because so broker co-op means that they won't allow you, they don't offer a payment or a commission if you bring a buyer to their community. They actually tell the buyer that if the buyer wants you to represent them, the buyer has to pay you commission out of their own pocket. But right now, for this very limited time, and we all know why, because it's a buyer's market, Lennar is co-oping. They have an incentive program, not only for agents, they also have some great incentives for buyers. And so I visited this community in Natomas, and it's called North Lake. They have a September sale happening right now. There are 8 neighborhoods in this one community called North Lake. So here's where it's located. If you're on the 80 and you pass up everything that we know is Natomas on your right, all of that, all the eateries and stuff, and you're driving like you're driving out to Plumas Lake, you'll make a right turn. I'm sorry, not a right. You'll make a left turn after the last exit. And I apologize, I don't have it in front of me right now. But you'll make that left turn instead of turning right. I want to say it's Rio Linda Boulevard, but you'll make a left turn. What's that last turn before you? Elkhorn?
Right before it switches going like 35.
Yeah. It's Elkhorn. So if you go right on Elkhorn, then you're like right on Rio Linda on the left and Natomas on the right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. That's so it's left.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of turning right where you end up in Rio Linda, you turn left, and it is this whole new community called North Lake by Lennar. And they've got a ton of man-made lakes. One of the things about the man-made lakes is that they are man-made. So, there are not a lot of trees out there. But if you like looking at bodies of water designed around housing, then this might be an attractive. Thank you, Miss Sharita. She said Elkhorn Boulevard. I know you did. I'm just saying. She said it too. Then you may really like this place. So they have 8 different neighborhoods in this large community. You can't miss it because it's practically the only thing over there. The thing that I like most about it is that it actually has self-guided tours. If you have an agent representing you, you want your agent to go with you out the gate. It will be very difficult for them to match you with your agent if you go by yourself. The self-guided tours, you go in front of the property, they have a QR code. You wave your cell phone over the QR code, and the instructions on how to access and enter the property pop up right on your phone. And in order for you to get that information, you've got to put in your information. And now they've captured your information. They know that you're not with your agent. So make sure you go with your agent so that your agent is the one that's opening these properties, that your agent is the one. And the reason I say this is because most of the time, if you're looking for a home, you want to see new home construction and resale if you are in that price bracket. And if you're using an agent, your agent won't get paid until you close on a transaction. So if you decide to buy, if your agent has been showing you all these resale homes, and then you get a wild hair and you want to go see new home, the right thing to do would be to have your agent represent you in that. If I were your agent and I'm showing you all of these resale homes, and then you go buy a new home construction property without me, I am hotter than fish grease at you, and it's going to take a minute for me to calm down. I'll love you later, but it won't be right away. So back to the other property that I saw in Natomas. That is Lennar at the Cove. Awesome properties, awesome properties. The other area that's still just near and dear to my heart is Beezer Homes, the Cove. Beezer Homes, the Cove. They have 4 different neighborhoods, and they are still selling. They offer single family and townhome living in what they call a vibrant master plan within minutes of downtown Sacramento, featuring a clubhouse, fitness center, pool, walking trails, and more. They also have some great incentives happening right now. The thing I love about the Cove is just how beautiful it is. Like, not only are the homes they got just wonderful character and style, and you just got to see them. But driving in there, you just feel like you somebody. Like, ooh, I live at the Cove. Yeah, so really nice. And then they're also built right next to some natural land features. One of the areas is this creek. So if you get a home in that area, you're actually looking out, your backyard is looking out at the creek. So it's a really, really nice area, really nice development that's still selling. Great incentives. Have your agent go with you. That's Beezer Homes, the Cove. They're located at 2980 Inslee Avenue. I have only no seconds left, but I want to tell you about the Cove at the Rivers in West Sac. They're located at 601 Rivercrest Drive. They are an intimate new home neighborhood in West Sac with just 18 homes, and they are part of the Rivers, the exclusive gated Rivers community. So you check them out. They've only got 18 homes. They're actually down to just a handful of those homes left. They're at 601 Rivercrest Drive. And then we have Taylor Morrison at Madera Meadows. Taylor Morrison, Barcelona at Madera Meadows. They are at 7534 Allen Dietrich Avenue in Elk Grove. They actually have an incentive where you can save up to $50,000 on a new home. They have slashed the prices on almost all of their inventory right now. Their community is actually going to be sold out within a few months, but they've got a few sales tricks left up their sleeves. So if you want to visit them, if you're looking to buy in Elk Grove, Taylor Morrison, Barcelona at Madera Meadows is a great place to start. That's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at the end, and you've been listening to 97.5 FM KDEE. I am Agent Key, and remember, if you are doing what you were created to do, I will see you at the top. Whew. What's the co-op? I can't say numbers over the air, Arthur. That's why I didn't say it. I can only just do like roundabout things. So the co-op, and actually, you know, the co-op could differ too. That's another good reason that I shouldn't say it over the air. So you'll have to go to each community and check it out for yourself, because it could be one thing today and they may change it to something else tomorrow. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Mwah. Thank you for tuning in. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.